Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hopefully we are live here on Glenn's page. This is your boy D-Mac filling in on Rise and Grind Nation. I see some people joining, so I think things are working properly. Hey, if you can hear and see me okay, could you give me a thumbs up? Could you give me a shout out? No, you are not losing it this morning. No, you are not in the wrong place. You are in the right place. This is your boy D-Mac going live for Glenn. Hey, I was there at 5:30. We had a low network connection, but I think we're good now. I know it's 5:31. I'm so sorry I was late, guys, but I promise I was there at 5:30. If you could just give me some thumbs up, give me some love, let me know that you can see and hear me okay. I have an awesome episode planned for you this morning. It looks like we're up to 44 people. It looks like people are here, and I think we are ready to go. Whew! I gotta let you know, there was some pressure. Like, I've heard the stories, if you don't press go live at 5:30, right at 5:30, like the amount of messages and like people are you okay? Are you okay? So I think I pulled it off. I might have been 1 minute late. I'm sorry, Glenn. So here's the story. Yesterday, we're finishing up our taxes. We're sitting at the dinner table. Like, the only way that we can get taxes done around here is if someone watches our kids. So someone was watching our kids, and we were getting our taxes done. And I just had wrapped up. I'm like, all right, I can relax now. And I get this call, and it's Glenn. And he's like, dude, tomorrow I need you. 5:30, I'm going to be on a plane. I can't do my live on a plane. I need you to fill in for me. I'm like, yeah, man, I got you. And then I started thinking, like, that's awesome. Like, Glenn considers me such a good friend that he's going to ask me to fill in for him and Rise and Grind. And then I thought a little bit more. Wait a minute. Daylight savings time. We just lost an hour of sleep. This is the first Monday back. Everyone's gonna be all cranky that they lost an hour. All that. Maybe he thought I was the only one who was crazy enough to say yes. But whatever. I'm here. I'm gonna bring it as best I can. I hope all of you had a fantastic weekend. I've got an awesome show planned for you this morning. We are going to dive into heroes. What is a hero? How can you become a hero? How can you recognize a hero in your life? And I'm going to share my personal testimony, my Rise and Grind testimony, because this group has made such a big difference and impact in my life, and I want all of you to hear that. I want you to share that. I want you to put that out there, and I want you all to share your Rise and Grind testimony as well. But thank you to everyone for being on here this morning. If you could, I have a question for this episode. Actually, it's 2 questions. If you could answer these questions, I would really appreciate it. Number 1 is, where are you watching from? So I know this group has really grown, and the viewers watch from all over the place. If you could share where you're watching from, the state that you're watching from, and then what was the highlight of your weekend? What was the highlight of your weekend? Maybe it was a few things that you want to share. If you could share that in the comments, I'd like to get us started with some positivity and also find out where everybody's from. So for me, my weekend was great. I had some awesome family time. I always love having that family time to where we're not so busy that we're constantly doing stuff, where we can actually just kind of take it easy and not really have an agenda. And we had a little bit of that this weekend. And my wife, as many of you know, she is battling stage 4 cancer right now. And after chemo, which she had chemo this past week, chemo kind of hits you differently, and it's like up and down. And so I'm very thankful that this weekend my wife felt good enough to rearrange the kids' playroom. She was able to rearrange the kids' playroom, and she loves doing this stuff. Like, she always just has this vision, and the way that she brings it to life just amazes me, because I'm not good at it. She handles that type of stuff, and she does so well. And she rearranged the kids' playroom. It looks awesome. The kids actually got a hand-me-down dollhouse from their cousin. she brought that over. And so it was really, really cool to just see their new imagination kind of take flight, I guess you would say. Like they started, imagining things and playing in the dollhouse, and they brought over some new princess dresses. My daughter's really into dressing up in these princess dresses, so they did that. It was really, really cool to see that. Also, another positive thing that happened this weekend was the kids slept well. The kids slept well. Like we had this time change, and everybody complains about it, but like my son, Calvin, he comes running down yesterday morning. He comes running down, and within the first 2 minutes of being up, he got dressed, he brushed his teeth. Even before he ate, he brushed his teeth, he brushed his hair, and he is just in this great mood. And I'm like, wow, that went pretty good for a time change. That was awesome. So that was good. And then last night, I overheard my wife was reading, or sitting in there as my son was reading, I guess I should say. And my son, he's starting to learn to read, and he was reading to our daughter. So that was really, really cool. And I actually got to hear my wife say, I've always thought about this moment and what it would be like. And you're reading to your baby sister. It was just a really, really cool experience. And then finally, my mother-in-law got this bike. One of the things they want my wife to do is ride this stationary bike. So we've got this stationary bike in the basement, and my wife went down the basement and she got in a half hour of exercise, and she felt great. And it was just so good to see, because heading in the weekend post chemo, she's not doing the best, but then the way that we closed out the weekend was on such a high note, and she was feeling good, and that just gave me such positive energy heading into this new week. So that's what I want you to do, is I want you to share that 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, positive things that happened for you this weekend. That way we can head into the new week with a positive note. So go ahead and drop that in the comments. And then once again, let me know where you're watching from. I know this group has grown. I know we've got people all over. Share that in the comments. But you know what's next. You know what's next. I'm here. I'm not Glenn, you know that, but that doesn't mean that I can't try to deliver the full Rise and Grind experience. So, as you know, today is Monday, March 11th, 2019. And what's crazy about that, what's absolutely crazy about that, is that this is the first and the last time that it'll ever be Monday, March 11th. 2019. So we need to make sure that we make the absolute most of this incredible day. Does that sound good? All right, I'm going to play some music, and I'm going to welcome some of you now. I don't have the dance moves. Michael Jasper, thanks for being on here. Vicky Everett, Bambi, BG Campbell, thanks for being on here. Cece, thank you for being on here this morning. Lisa, thank you for being on here this morning. Hey, can you guys let me know if you can hear the music and you can hear me? Could you just give me a thumbs up? Just let me know you can hear that music, okay? Gail, thanks for being on here. Don, thanks for being on here. And I gotta hit it up. For my man Josh. Oh, yeah, Josh. Oh, I know he's in the house. Carissa, thank you for being on here this morning. Sandra, thank you for being on here this morning. I appreciate all of you joining me. Naomi, thank you for being on here this morning. Jeff, thank you for being on here this morning. Lindsay, great to see you this morning. Good morning. Anthony Santangelo. I love me some Anthony Santangelo. Denny, thank you for being on here this morning. Josh, oh man, it's always good to see you. Jeff Baker, we got Joshua up in it. We got Laura up in it. We got a whole crew this morning. We're up to 77. Vicky, KC, thank you all for being on here this morning. I got the music going. I'm trying to create the whole Rise and Grind experience for you as we head into this new week and do my man Glenn proud. All right. Archie, this is the part of the show where I need you to say good morning to me. I'm saying good morning to you. This is also the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. Go ahead and hit that share button. Let's get the word out here. I'm going to be sharing my personal Rise and Grind testimony. I'm going to be talking about heroes today. Glenn's got a great series on heroes coming to you this week. So if you could please hit that share button. If for no other reason than if I bomb this, I want everybody to see me bomb this. So get the word out there. If I fall flat on my face, it might as well be in front of thousands of people. So hit that share button, would you please? All right. Okay, so when Glenn asked me to host this episode, it was a no-brainer. It was an absolute no-brainer. Yeah, man, I got you. Because this group, this Rise and Grind group, and I've shared this testimony, but I want to do it again, has absolutely changed my life. It's changed my family's life. A lot of you know that, but I just really quickly want to recap just kind of who I am, how I got in this group, and what it's done for me. So my name is Derek McLean. I'm a digital marketer, exercise enthusiast, proud father, loving husband, and a believer and a proud member of #RiseAndGrind. So for me, it was about 8 or 9 months ago that I joined Rise and Grind, and I was led here by a video that Sean Hayes put out there. Many of you know Sean Hayes, who now works for Dan Cummins, who produces videos regularly, and he's helped change a lot of people's lives. Well, I saw one of his videos. I really liked what I saw. I started following him, and it wasn't too long after that he had Glenn on his Sales Hustler Spotlight. And so I got to see who Glenn was. I really liked what I saw. I could tell that he was a person who was very genuine, who spoke the truth, who was very passionate about helping other people. And so I started following Glenn and became a member of #RiseAndGrind. And I could tell right away that the group was special, that it was a little bit different than a lot of the other groups out there. There seemed to be a lot more value. If you look through your groups list on Facebook, you're probably in several groups, and my guess is not all of them bring you a whole lot of value, but this group was different. #RiseAndGrind was very different. And so I started sharing my story. I started pouring into this group. I started sharing exercise posts and all that kind of stuff. And I'll never forget kind of my breakthrough moment was the night before one of my daughter's surgeries. So my daughter, several of you know, she was born with a lot of different conditions, and we were getting ready to prepare for a big surgery. We were at Nationwide Children's Hospital. My wife and my daughter were asleep, and I was in the workout room, and I'm like, for some reason, something was tugging on me to just kind of share my story in the group. And at that point, while I knew that the group was special, I'd only been in the group for a few months, so I wasn't really exactly sure how people would react to it, what they would do. But I knew that we needed some extra prayers heading into the next day. So I shared my story, and I was blown away by the number of people who sent prayers, well wishes, positive vibes, all that stuff. Like, you guys lifted us up heading into my daughter's surgery. And if you've ever had anything happen to any of your kids, like, you just kind of feel so helpless, and like you've kind of lost control. And of course you want things to go great for them, but you can't be there with them. Like, you're turning them over to the surgeon. Like, it's a very vulnerable moment, and you guys really stepped in and you raised my whole family up. Things went well, and at that moment I could tell that people in this group really sincerely cared, and I started to have this feeling of family, like you guys were extended family, and that made me want to pour in this group more. And so I started doing that. I started sharing more of my life. I started sharing my exercise posts, trying to motivate you to get up, get out, get active, get fit, all that type of stuff. And then fast forward to today, and several of you know that a few months ago, my wife was diagnosed with cancer. And you knew me at that point, but you didn't know my wife really at that point. And what you guys did for us was just amazing. You reached out your arms, you loved on us, you continue to raise us up during the most difficult times of our life. There's not a single day that goes by that one of you isn't sending a positive message to me or my wife, that we're not seeing one of there's not a single day that goes by that we're not seeing a post where you're wearing our shirt, where you're sending us love, where you're doing all these incredible things for us. And I just can't thank you all enough. This group truly, truly is special. I don't care how long you've been in this group. If you're new to this group, if you've been in this group for over a year now, it's over a year old now, I want you to know that this group is special, and continue to pour into it because it's worth it. And you are all part of a community, you're part of an extended family, and we're all seeing each other's life change, and we're doing life together, and it's a very, very special thing. So continue to pour in this group. Thank you to everyone in this group for what you've done for us. I really appreciate it. So that's my testimony, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of dive into heroes. What are heroes? Who are heroes? Let's talk about that. Glenn said that this week, as if you've watched in the last couple weeks, he's been doing different little series. So this series this week is going to be on heroes, and more specifically how heroes don't always have to be the big strong people, the tall people, the people that really stand out and grab your attention. Actually, I think there are a lot of kind of hidden heroes if we just look around us, and I don't want us to lose sight of that. So today we're going to talk about heroes. I'm going to ask you to tag people who you think are heroes in your life, who have been heroes in your life, and then I'm going to ask you to really look at yourself in the mirror and say, can I be a hero? Well, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but I do know this: you can do heroic things. So we're going to talk about that today. But before I get started, I want to really kind of define what is a hero. What is a hero? Well, there's a couple different definitions, and I want to share some of those with you. So a hero, one definition, is a mythological or legendary figure endowed with great strength or ability. That's one definition of a hero. And often that is kind of the definition that we have when we're small. We look at people like Superman, Spider-Man, all these people, those are kind of our heroes. But then as we grow older, most of us, now you can still love those childhood heroes, but as we grow older, I think we start to see that definition of a hero change a little bit. And to what I want us to focus on today is the definition of a hero that says a person admired for achievements and noble qualities. A person admired for achievements and noble qualities. So when I read that definition to you, who comes to mind? Who comes to mind as a hero in your life? Maybe it's your mom, dad, a sibling, coworker. Who comes to mind when I say a person admired for achievements and noble qualities? If you could, please, could you tag that person in the comments? Could you tag that hero that comes to mind? You see, I think too often we get focused on these big public figures. We get focused on the strongest person, the tallest person, the fastest person, the most famous person, and we kind of miss these day-to-day heroes, and we don't let them know just how much they mean to us. So that's what I want you to do today, is I want you to think about those heroes in your life, and I want you to tag them in the comments below, because I don't think they get enough love. I think sometimes we focus way too much on these people that are, again, famous, strong, fast, that really stand out for some other reason, rather than the people who are in the grassroots every single day, down in the trenches, doing a lot of the things that really matter. And that's what I want you to do, is think about who that person is, tag that person in the comments. We're going to keep going here. Another definition of a hero, which I really, really love this one, is one who shows great courage. One who shows great courage. And I love that simple definition of a hero, because a moment of courage can change your life forever. And again, let's not get caught up on heroes who wear capes and Superman and Spider-Man and these these great uniforms and things that they have to put on. Let's instead look at those people around us who show great courage. So think about that for a minute. If no one stood out to you when I read a person admired for achievements or noble qualities, who stands out to you when I read one who shows great courage? Could you share that in the comments? Could you tag that person, please? I'd really, really appreciate it. So next we're going to dive into 3 different qualities of heroes. 3 different qualities of heroes. And as I read these, I want you to, again, kind of think about the people in your life. The people in your life who do these things, who know these things, who are these things. And I want you to tag those people. And then I also want you to do a little bit of self-reflection. And I want you to kind of look in the mirror and say, am I doing these things? Am I capable of being a hero? Am I capable of being heroic? Because for me, being a hero, I don't need to be a hero to the masses. If I can do the right thing and I can be a hero to my family and my children, that's enough for me. And I think that as we go through this little exercise, I think that maybe you will kind of see that same thing. So number 1, I think heroes know their superpowers. Heroes know their superpowers. They know what they're good at. Superman knew that he could fly. He knew that he was fast. He knew that he was strong. Batman knew what his capabilities were. Spider-Man knew that he could climb things and shoot his web and all that. So what are the heroes in your life, and what are the things that they're really, really good at? And better yet, when you look in the mirror, look at you, and what are you good at? Do you know what your superpowers are? Do you know what your gifts and talents that God gave you are? Have you discovered those yet? I would say that most people at this point in their life who are watching this, I would say that they know what their superpowers are, what they're really, really good at. And I would say that sometimes it's just a matter of self-reflection. And it's just a matter of really taking a moment and saying, I'm going to go all in on those things. Glenn's a perfect example of this. Glenn is a great leader. He's great at lifting other people up. And he had that moment of courage that I just talked about when I defined a hero when he left Dan Cummins. He talks about it all the time. You know, he had this great job where he was comfortable and he was doing great things, but he had this incredible moment of courage because he recognized what his superpower was and he went all in with it. And that's what I want you to do, is think about who that person is, but then also self-reflect a little bit and say, are you going all in on your superpowers? So often we're so focused on our weaknesses, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with self-development and self-growth, but at the same time, go all in on your superpowers. You were given these gifts and talents for a reason. Go all in on it. Please, please, I want you to do that. Number 2, heroes make sacrifices and they serve other people. They serve other people. Almost all superheroes, all heroes, sacrifice kind of a normal life to lift other people up. Just think about it for a minute. You know, they can't live a normal life because they know that they have these superpowers and they have this calling and this thing that they're supposed to do, and they're supposed to pour into other people. So as you identify what your gifts and talents are, again, do some self-reflection. Are you using those to self-serve, to lift yourself up? Are you being selfish with those things? Or are you instead using those things to lift other people and to serve others? That's what I want you to do, because that's when you have the greatest sense of fulfillment. And if you think about who that person was that you tagged, and if you haven't done it yet, I want you to tag a hero. If you think about who that person was that you tagged that was a hero in your life, odds are they knew what their superpowers were, or they know what they are, and they are currently using them to serve other people, and as a result, they are sacrificing something to do it. Think about that this morning, please, and tag that person. do some self-reflection. So we covered knowing what your superpowers are, making sacrifices, and using it to serve others. I've got a few more things left. I'm going to try to keep you on time here at 6 o'clock. The last one, heroes are strong in adversity. Heroes are strong in adversity. Again, if you think about that person who you tagged, who was your hero, or who is your hero currently, they were probably and are probably strong in adversity. When the going gets tough, when their back's against the wall, when the city's falling apart, to use the superhero analogy, that's when they're their strongest. They know what their superpowers are. They use it to serve others. They lift other people up, and they are strong in adversity. So I challenge you today, as we go out into this new day, to think about who is the hero in your life, and do they know that you think that they're a hero? Do they know that? Let them know. Why are you so focused on the tallest, the strongest, the person with the cape, the famous person? No. Tell that person who's there on a daily basis, grinding it out, in the trenches, selflessly serving others. Tell that person that they're your hero. They're the ones that need to hear it. So let them know. And then number 2, do some self-reflection. Look at yourself in the mirror. Can you be heroic? Maybe you're not a hero yet. Maybe you're not comfortable going there yet. But that doesn't mean that you can't do heroic things. I believe that you can do heroic things. They can be very, very simple things. Going out of your way to say hi to someone. It doesn't have to be a miraculous act. It doesn't have to be flying in the air to be a hero. All right. I hope you enjoyed this morning's episode of Rise and Grind, #Rise and Grind. I had some pretty big shoes to fill. I had to live up to Glenn Lundy, and I want to share with you, as we went through this exercise, who I thought of. And that's my wife. My wife is my hero. My wife is my hero. Because over the last 2 years, especially, she's been an incredible mother. But over the last 2 years especially, after our daughter was born and she had several conditions that she was born with, and doctors used words like complicated, and they told us that she might never walk again and all that, my wife made the decision to be a stay-at-home mommy. She made the decision that she was going to pour into our family, that she was going to do the doctor's appointments, the therapies, the day-to-day stuff with my daughter to help her get to where she is today. And my wife is absolutely my hero. She's absolutely my hero. And I realized I didn't tell her that enough. So I've been telling her that a lot lately, because as we've been hit with this cancer thing, I've had to do a lot more of kind of the mommy type stuff that she did, the stay-at-home mom type stuff that she did. And it's hard. It's really, really hard. And the way that she did it was incredible. And she did it so effortlessly. And she sacrificed promotions at her job. She sacrificed advancing her career because she knew that her superpower was being a mommy, and she poured into our family over these last couple years. And now that she needs us as she battles cancer, now that she needs us, we're here for her because she is our superhero. She is our rock, and she stands strong in adversity. At the most trying moment of her life, rather than focusing on the negative, she's focusing on the positive. And that to me is the true definition of a hero. So share who your hero is in the comments. Don't be bashful. Don't be bashful. Tag that person. Let them know. Let them know, because they deserve it. All right. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I hope you had a great weekend. I challenge you to go out into this day. If you don't consider yourself a hero yet, if you've got some work to do, that's okay, but you can still do some heroic things. So do at least one heroic thing, would you, today? I know you can do that. All right. If you need more, wait. There's one thing I need to do. Come on, I almost forgot. All right. You, my friend, you are a child of God, uniquely made by the God of the universe to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And you're doing it. You're absolutely doing it. You're watching the show. You're in #RiseAndGrind. You're sharing positive posts. You're lifting people up. You're going to go out into your day and you're going to find that person who's the hero in your life and you're going to let them know. And that's a great decision. You're doing it. You're being the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And I, for one, I absolutely, positively love you for it. I do. And I know Glenn does as well. And if no one has told you that yet today, I want to be the first one. All right. If you need more videos like this, go to glennlundy.com. And don't forget, I hear there's this event called Hustle and Grind Con coming up. Jump on there, register, and join a bunch of other like-minded people with great character who are heroes, and have a blast in Florida. All right, here we go. Have a great day. We're going to close with some more music. Tap that share button. Get this out here. Thank you so much for being on here this morning. I love you all. Peace out.